Hello and welcome to another wonderful episode of So Do You Like Stuff? I'm Jeff Miller.
And I'm Josh Martinez.
Let's sit back, relax, grab somebody that you love on them, and listen to the sultry voices of So Do You Like Stuff?
Delilah. Sorry.
While we get nerdy and stuff. What's going on, everybody? Just the beginning. Thanks for everybody that's watching our videos on YouTube, and listening to us on SoundCloud and whatever platform that you choose to do it, because gosh darn it, we're that independent, I guess.
Whatever means necessary to be popular.
Exactly. We're that desperate girl that wants to be the belle of the ball, or Carrie, without the
No, without the
without
without
the
the
mind powers.
yeah.
Why can't we be Carrie? Just look dead in the eyes and just be covered in pig's blood, making people stab each other, or making people hit that subscribe button.
Speaking of talking about high school, making myself feel old. I'm feeling very old because I'm not a huge. I don't know how big of a basketball fan a lot of people are that are listening, but like Dirk Nowitzki is retired.
Yep.
Or is retiring. Dwayne Wade's retiring.
Yep.
And like those guys came out when, well, we were in high school and Wade came out. We were still in elementary, junior high when he came out.
Like junior high, like beginning of high school
Yeah.
was the
No,
Dirk
I
show.
think he came in 96, 97.
No.
So we were about getting into junior high.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true.
so it's like, and then even to make it worse, it's like LeBron's not in the playoffs and the Orlando Magic are in the playoffs.
Yep. And I'm okay with that. Sorry for our LA fans that thought that he was Jesus incarnated.
Supposedly those LA fans ain't too happy with him being there.
I wouldn't be. Bringing them over saying, oh, we're going to get championships, and nothing happened. So, yeah.
2 more years left.
Yeah. MJ is still number one. Deal with it, people.
Anyway, we digress. On to the show.
We have a show? Just kidding.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We got together and we came up with some stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff in the movie realm, not so much as reviews, but mainly reviews of trailers that are starting to come out.
Yeah.
And a potential show that's scratching my head like, what the heck? I thought this series is going to die, but we'll get that into that in
No
just a
pun
little bit.
intended.
Yeah. No pun intended, yeah. Har.
Yeah. So what's the first trailer that we'll be looking at is the Joker trailer, which I sent to you.
Yeah. The Joker trailer.
Yeah. So this
Not
is
Heath Ledger because he did not come back from the dead.
yeah. I'm taking this movie as like an Elseworlds movie.
It's very much so, like, it's because with the
It's a
Joker,
one-off.
you can the only thing that we have based of like the future, like the Joker's past, is the whole Red Hood thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't even seem like they even are going to be covering that in the film unless they make that the transition.
Yeah. Well, and they've already said Batman's not going to be in this movie.
Yeah.
That's why I take it as like it's a like an Elseworlds, kind of like the Gotham by Gaslight storyline.
Yeah, or I mean, what is the man who laughs is like the Joker is the is the good guy and the Batman's the bad guy or something like that. I think that's the
Y-
most recent one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, they could be going towards that, or I don't know. It looks like a typical DC movie, dark, brooding. I'm surprised Zack Snyder's not on this project.
But but it takes place in a different time period. It looks like it's mm, like late 80s.
Yeah, very much so. Late 80s, early 90s. So, I mean, if
Mm-hmm.
it's, I mean, you can almost give it the point that it's um the the last trilogy that they threw out, like that timeline. But I don't know. I don't know which way they're gonna go with it, and if Harley Quinn is gonna be making a guest spot, or I the way that I'm envisioning it, that Harley Quinn's gonna be included in this film is that Joker ends up at Arkham and she's there as his psychiatrist.
Yeah. I mean, I also see it just as, like I said, a one-off, and it's like you don't want to fall into that trap of if it does well, you want to go like, oh, let's make a second one. No, just like
I don't think it should have a second one.
yeah, just leave it as is.
Yeah, yeah,
And
we don't need to try to franchise something that doesn't need to be franchised,
yeah, but I
as
think
like The Hobbit.
yeah, which I'm really surprised. But I don't doubt like Joaquin Phoenix could be like a good Joker, whether it be in a Batman movie or
Yeah.
in this movie in itself. But I remember talking, I think it was with my wife a few years ago or a year ago,
Hmm.
when his name was being bounced around, and I think she said, I want to say it was her. She said he would have been a good Two Face
Yeah, I could see that.
because he could do that. You think about how he was in the movie Gladiator, where he had those moments of where he's
Mr. Kind, and then
yeah, Mr. Nice to everybody, and then all of a sudden he flips a switch and is, shouting at his sister saying, "Am I merciful?"
yeah.
He could do that type of flip with Two Face, where it's like
Hmm.
he's very calm and very talkative, and then all of a sudden he goes into that grovelly, you know, fear
I
is the only thing that we
I just
have.
think we just need to give what's his face another chance with Two Face.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, yeah. Let's give him that. Let's. I would say a good Two Face movie would be with Tommy Lee Jones, where he actually reads a Two Face comic instead of be like mirror Jim Carrey's energy.
No, do you know who we need to give a Two Face role to?
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
No, Billy D. Williams. Remember, he was the original Harvey Dent
True.
in the first Batman movie, and he was scheduled. He was supposedly he was going to be Two Face in Batman Forever, and when Burton stepped down,
Yeah.
he kind of walked away from it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I always like looked at Phoenix once my wife said that, I was like, yeah, he could do that. He's the type of actor that could act like that.
Well, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix, I mean, he's the type of actor that he's not in it for the glory. He's not in it for anything. He's just an actor. I mean, he's not just, going through the motions like, oh, the only reason why I'm doing this is I'm getting paid a whole bunch of money, or um it'll win me a bunch of awards. He just likes to act. And you can just tell that with some of like more of his recent films, when like that movie where he falls in love with Siri.
Oh, her,
Yeah, her. There we go.
which I never saw. I saw a clip of it for one of my classes, but it looked interesting.
Yeah, I mean, desperately lonely guy that the only female that he can ever talk to is Siri, and he falls in love with her.
Yeah, and the voice of Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
But
but
I
I would.
mean, that's just how Joaquin is. I mean, shoot, he went in retirement and became a like hardcore deep underground rapper for like a couple years.
Yeah,
He was a straight up gangster rapper that was going to different clubs and doing rap battles against people that actually can rap.
Yeah.
He wasn't going for a role or anything like that. He's like, he just woke up one morning and was like, dang, I feel good to be a gangster.
He thought because he could play Johnny Cash, he thought he could be the guy that goes to rap battles.
Because he is the man in black.
Yeah. No, I'm hopeful for the movie, and I think, yeah, it does have that dark, gritty tone that um a lot of the DC movies have had,
Hmm.
but it looks. Some people, I saw some comments. Some people were saying it reminds them of Requiem for Dream.
Yeah,
Um,
I can see that.
More artsy than it is an actual comic book movie.
Yeah, I mean that's how you're gonna have to do it because Joker is not a fighter. If you even look at the comic books, he's not really a fighter. He's a planner. He's a manipulator. He is,
He's never portrayed as somebody who's going to go in and fight.
yeah, he's always the one that's behind the scenes and making other people do things and then using guns and explosives and knives. Come on.
Hmm.
Oh my.
Unlike the Suicide Squad Joker.
You know what? I have that movie. I own it. I've had it since it like was released because it was given to me. I have yet to watch it.
It still has its seal.
No, it doesn't have its seal because I was going to watch it on a plane or something like that, and it had the little voucher card for,
The digital
the
download.
digital copy. So I was like, oh, I'll do it and I'll watch it. Never watched it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, his is like it like my wife liked that incarnation of the Joker, but I was like, it's too on the nose.
yeah. I,
Yeah.
I, I don't know. It's Jared Leto being Jared Leto.
Yeah. Well, it looked like he was channel. It was like, I think it was honest trailers compared it to like it was him channeling Jim Carrey from Ace Ventura: Pet Detective and James Franco from Spring Breakers.
Yeah, I
Like
could see that.
that's what he was channeling.
Yeah, I could see that.
But
Oh,
but
but I mean, I'm hoping that it's good just for DC's sake because I mean, Marvel is running the gambit just because I would say the Marvel movies are they're fun. They're your typical summer blockbuster films. You have your action and then a dose of comedy and then some kind of twist ending or some kind of twist that throws people for a loop and then they love it because of that.
mhm.
So, and I'm very hopeful with how things are lining up and with with Shazam that just came out having good reviews. Didn't Aquaman get decent reviews?
Yeah, Aquaman. It got like think about like 60%, 64% on Metacritic.
Yeah. And then with this coming out, was granted this is going to be darker and everything like that, but I think it needs to be that because there has to be a lot of just somebody going to the boiling point and just one big thing just takes them over to make the Joker. It
Hmm.
has to be, it almost has to be dark. It has to be seriously crazy crap needs to happen to this guy.
Do you know if it's going to be rated R?
I don't think the trailer didn't say what the rating's
Yeah.
going to be on it.
I feel with it you have to go R. They
I would think so too.
they'll probably go PG-13, but I feel like you have to go R.
I would say so too, just to make sure that he's a twisted character enough.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, I hoping good things for the Joker and everything like that. So, and speaking of weird, dark, brooding, what the heck is going on kind of a things, I thought this show was going to die, but apparently it's getting another because it has already one side story. Now it's having
Yeah,
another. Is it? It's a future side story. Like it's supposed to be like generations down the
later
line.
the yeah, and
Yeah, and
the show
what
they
we're
want
talking
to
about is The Walking
Walking
Dead.
Dead. I mean, I didn't know it was a future show. I know they have like they're supposed to do like a Rick Grimes spinoff.
Well, they can't do a Rick Grimes spinoff because he's well, spoiler alert if you don't know by yet, and it was it wasn't televised, but it was a big talk about, and a lot of people are angry about it because it did, goes away from the actual comic book. Rick Grimes is dead. He is dead.
No, I thought he survived
No, he's dead.
in the
He
comics.
Oh, in the comics he survives. Yeah. Rick Grimes is pretty much, he
They said that he survived and that they were gonna do like 3 spinoff TV movies.
no, because the actor that plays him, he doesn't want to play him anymore. That's the reason why they had to kill him off. Well,
Uh,
from what I've heard is because I haven't seen the episode, but he dies, but in a way that he could come back.
See, that's what I was saying is that like when they said that he died, that he was close to death and he got away, that then they were saying, "Hey, we're not killing him off. He's just going away, and we're gonna have he's gonna have like his own little mini adventure to kind of close his story."
Mm,
That's originally what I heard. I could be wrong.
yeah, from what I hear, sorry about that. Um,
Don't look at his web browser. His
you
web
don't
browsing
know
history.
what dirty things I might be looking at while I'm talking to Josh.
Yeah, I could have sworn that was the original intent. Was that they kind of did like a red herring where it's like he doesn't. They play it off like he dies, but he doesn't. And like a post credit scene, they show him alive, and then they announce later, like I think that week, that they would do like a Rick Grimes spinoff, like mini movie, just to kind of close out the story arc.
Um, no, this is completely different. The spinoff. So AMC has ordered 10 episodes of the AMC Studios produced series, which will film in Virginia. And while the network isn't saying a lot about the plot of the spinoff, it did offer one key detail. The two leads will be women. So you can't have a Rick Grimes.
But if it's in Virginia, like what aren't they in Virginia in the show? Like the
No,
original?
they're Atlanta, Georgia.
No, they traveled all the way to Alexandria, and I thought Alexandria was like near DC. There was like a whole trek that they made to like DC area.
True, true.
Like they shoot it in Atlanta, Georgia. You're right on that.
Yeah. I honestly I don't know even they know where they're at. Quite honestly. They're in Walking Dead. That's where they're at.
Yeah.
They're in Walking Dead. Um but I've read that it's supposed to be youngerish kids. Like the two leads will be women. I heard they're like supposed to be like teenagers or something like that, and it's supposed to be future down the line because we have Fear the Walking Dead, which is the prequel of how everything happened while Rick was sleeping. Then you have The
which they
Walking Dead, and
which they
then
didn't
I
really
think this
explain.
one is supposed to be down the line after a lot of crazy crap happens.
Yeah. And even in Fear the Walking Dead, they really didn't explain it. You just kind of like watch the downfall of society as
You
opposed
just
to
accept it. It's not
yeah.
like Zombieland where it comes from hamburger.
I forgot about that in Zombieland.
Yep. comes from a hamburger, but I don't know. I don't know what AMC's thinking is on this because maybe they're like, this will help rejuvenate the show. This will help, get people back into zombies and everything like that. But I don't know. I think we're just too far gone because, like, the Hollywood movie scene, there's only like one like zombie flick a year now, where it used to be like so much, and like there's no more like zombie board games or zombie books coming out, or how to draw zombies, or
Yeah,
or even in cartoons there's no zombie episodes or anything like that anymore.
yeah, like on with Tina Belcher on Bob's Burgers, they've kind of like not done any of the weird teenage zombie stuff with her.
True,
They,
true, but I mean, she does talk about them, not quite a bit, but I mean, the direction that they're having with Tina, it's I have mixed emotions about Tina now because Tina used to be good. Now she's just very much, because the female fan base is very much, like their mantra is Tina is my spirit animal, which she used to be like more like shy and awkward and all that stuff. Now she's starting to get more of a voice and more of like more daring and more just out there instead of, and more independent and all this stuff. And I mean, it's good and all, but I don't it's and I know it's supposed to be she's growing and all that stuff, but I don't know.
hmm, yeah, but I
Louise
mean,
is still
I
the
think
best.
yeah, but I think there's zombie fatigue. I mean, it's the show's been on the original Walking Dead.
Yeah,
It's been on for 9 years at this point.
something
And
like that, yeah.
going on season 10 in next fall. Um, I mean, it's been on for so long. I stopped watching after I think season 6 or season 7. It was shortly after. It was probably the season after they introduced Negan. I think it was season 7.
Yeah, I
Uh,
only got halfway through the Negan saga because it just gets it got boring. It really did. It got boring, and they're barely holding on to their cast. Their cast is basically I'm done. The only person that's like still all gung ho for it is what's his
Daryl.
face? What?
Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl Dixon. Because that's really
Um,
the only thing he's been in like a long standing and is beloved by, besides Boondock Saints,
yeah,
which that didn't have a good showing in theaters. Granted, it was because of Columbine,
yeah,
but yeah, it and then it got more of a following afterwards. But I mean, he has that uh Hideo Kojima video game that's coming out, Death Stranding.
yeah,
Hideo Kojima is the guy that made Metal Gear Solid,
yeah.
Metal Gear Solid,
But yeah,
and a titan in the video game industry.
but yeah, it's zombie fatigue. I mean, it's everybody. I mean, it's you kind of have your transition where everybody just kind of is looking at something else,
Exactly.
and it's zombie fatigue. I mean, I do remember, like you said, there was a stretch where
All zombies.
it was a lot of like zombie movies that were coming out. It seemed like I would say even Zombieland when it came out in '09, and then The Walking Dead followed afterwards. It just seemed like there was a
Yeah.
constant spin of that
Yeah.
wheel.
Because it evolved. The whole monster craze started with freaking vampires
Yeah,
because of the Twilight series. And then it started to evolve into other things. And then it came up to zombies. And then that thing hit.
yeah,
I'm glad
and
that we're out of the vampire phase. I mean, granted, I like vampires, but not Twilight vampires. Sorry.
yeah.
My
I mean,
vampire my vampires do not glow in the sun. My
well, they
vampires die by the sun.
they had the vampire thing was like always kind of there, and but the zombie thing, what really kicked the zombie thing off was the Dawn of the Dead movie that came out in '04, and then you
Yeah.
also had the Resident Evil franchise.
Somewhat, because around that time in '04, you're talking about Resident Evil 4, which was good. It's probably best in the series, but
I'm talking
uh
movie wise though. Like
oh yeah,
they'll have the
yeah,
Resident Evil movies, which
that and Blade and
yeah.
all that stuff. So,
So,
uh,
but I think in terms of specifically to zombies, yeah, it's fatigued at this point, and I
yeah,
think and we're just ready to move to something else.
yeah. We
So,
need another Blade movie. But anywho, it's weird. Walking
yeah.
Dead. I don't know what AMC's thinking, but go
But
for it.
speaking of companies that just want to go for it and revamp their whole classic lineup,
Hmm.
Disney came out with a new Lion King trailer.
Oh yes, they did.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it, but
I've
Josh
seen it.
has. I kind
Yeah,
of quit. I kind of quit after the whole Aladdin debacle.
that movie hasn't come out yet. I don't know why Disney just wants to make live action properties of their cartoons.
Well, the reason why they're doing it is because nostalgia factor is so big right now because it's not kids that's just going to go see these movies. It's mainly, the millennials are going to go see these movies because they're like, it's my childhood and you're going to ruin it.
Well, so they came out with Dumbo like last month, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and I heard it was terrible.
Did so then Aladdin is coming out this summer.
Yep. And I think I
Lion
bet you
King
Lion King's going to be maybe
fall?
no, winter. Probably Christmas. No, cuz when does Frozen come out? Frozen 2. I think that
Probably the winter.
they won't compete against each other for that.
No, no, Lion King comes out July 19th, 2019.
So they're basically going to flood the market with Aladdin and Lion King?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's actually somewhat smart because you can do double features.
Well, Aladdin comes out May 24th, and then literally almost 2 months later, you're getting hit with the Lion King.
Yeah, they can do a double feature
Yeah.
and throw in Avengers Endgame in there too.
I mean, the thing that they have working for them, I'm flipping through the voice cast right now.
Hmm.
James Earl Jones is back as Mufasa.
Well, you have to. There's no way that you can have anybody else play Mufasa. Maybe in an alternate dimension. Oh, uh, oh, what's his face? Morgan Freeman.
That kind of would be that'd be too obvious. That's a, that's a very, that's a switch right from, it's like almost, well, I guess it's not the same as like with Optimus Prime. There's been different actors who've done Optimus Prime,
Yeah.
but there's almost a distinct voice though when you watch the original
Oh yeah,
Transformers.
it's the deep, you know, Vader-esque voice.
Yeah, but yeah, so they have him back as Mufasa. Um,
I know
let's
they
see.
have Beyonce in it.
Yeah, Seth Rogen is Pumbaa. Um, Donald Glover is Simba,
Well, yeah.
and
Is it? Oh, who plays Timon? Is
Timon.
it
Let's see, that's a
is
name
it
I don't
Timon or is it
recognize.
Zazu? That's like why?
Let's see, Zazu is John Oliver.
Yeah, why? Why didn't they keep Mr. Bean?
I don't know. Well, then the other one was let's see, I think it's how you pronounce his name, Chiwetel Ejiofor. He played he was the he was a bad guy in Firefly back in like '05, and then he also was the kind of side character in Doctor Strange that ends up
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
coming to,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, he's Scar.
Okay.
Um, which works fine because him and Jeremy Irons are both from Britain, so they have the British accent.
Yeah. Africa being, all British.
Yep. But yeah, it looks like
We need Jonathan Taylor Thomas back.
got nothing better to do.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Maybe.
the thing that's weird though is that they're that they're tagging this as a live action movie, but all the animals are CG.
Yeah.
And actually even says right here, Jeremy Irons was disappointed that he didn't get to reprise his role as Star, but James Earl Jones got to reprise his role as Mufasa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Um,
But yeah, I mean, all it is just high quality cartoon. That's all it
yeah,
is. Because they're not gonna. It's not like the Disney nature stuff where they make up a story along while they're filming animals.
yeah. Oh, and I forgot. Even a couple years ago, they did the Jungle Book. That, that
That
was like one of
wasn't
the
bad.
which one? There's two of them.
The one with Bill Murray as
Is
Baloo.
Baloo?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And
there was
Christopher Walken as King Louie.
yeah, there was that one, and then there was I think there was like one they did for Netflix.
Yeah, they did do one. I didn't see that one.
But yeah, so
But I mean, they've done live action Jungle Book stuff before too. Like they
yeah.
had one with oh, what's his face? Was it Jeremy Lee?
Oh yeah, way back in the 90s.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've done
Um,
it before.
yeah, but it's just weird that even I get that Suji has come a long way, but I mean
You can still see that it's fake.
it's yeah, you can still see that it's CG. I mean, at least with like Babe,
They use
the,
pigs.
well, they use pigs, but when they're talking, they kind of almost use like an animatron. I don't know if they use animatronic. Um,
Maybe I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they did a Mr. Ed.
yeah, where they like stuff the mouth with peanut butter,
Yeah.
and yeah, so
Children
it's
watching that don't know who Mr. Ed is. Mr. Ed was a show back in the 1950s, 50s, 60s,
50,
and he
60,
was a talking horse.
yeah.
No CG there.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird that they're doing that, and I just read something on there too that the characters playing Timon and Pumbaa
Mm-hmm.
pretty much recorded their lines the same way that Nathan Lane and the other guy that played Pumbaa did it.
Oh, yeah?
So you're almost just going to basically get a reenactment of their characters from Seth Rogen and all that.
Yeah.
And the other thing too is it's like the cartoon version. It's like Timon and Pumbaa. They look very friendly and just very happy. They made Pumbaa look. I mean, they obviously had to make Pumbaa look like a real warthog.
Yeah, which warthogs are terrifying
Yeah, and
with all
they're
the
not.
tusks.
Yeah, and they're not cute.
They're not cute. They're not cuddly. They want to gore the heck out of you.
Yeah. So I saw on Twitter that it's getting to like mixed reviews because it's obviously there's things where they're like that doesn't
Well, I'm
you're trying to put a real life thing on something that animated wise just had a very distinct characteristics or distinct color.
exactly. And I mean, you're going to have mixed reviews no matter what because you're messing with people's memories. You're messing with nostalgia. And if it's not exactly like the original Lion King, people are not going to like it. That's why there was so much backlash for Aladdin. Because guess what? Will Smith is not Robin Williams. In people's
Yeah.
minds, Robin Williams is the genie. And I bet you $20 that if you ask anybody, would you rather have Will Smith or a 3D rendered Robin Williams and just supplement his dialogue from the original movie into it, they're gonna want that.
That'd be kind of interesting.
It would work.
I mean, the only hard part about that is that any scene with him, you would have to have the, uh, you'd have to have everything play out like in with his dialogue. You couldn't
It's
alter the
done. It's
dialogue.
been done before. I mean, they do it all the time. Shoot, look at all the look at Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
I mean, what was in there that?
Well, they basically all you do is just read your lines. You have somebody that's, either have
Oh, you're talking about the capture of the character,
yeah,
and then yeah,
yeah,
no. But what I mean is that like they'd have to make sure that every scene that Robin did voice is
uh
in the movie,
yeah,
or and make sure that the plot line connect that those scenes connect and fit within the plot line because it looked like even from the trailer on Aladdin they were doing
something
other
different.
some things differently.
See that's the thing. That's going to be another reason why people are not going to like it because again, you're messing with nostalgia. You're messing with pretty much one of Disney's masterpieces and people love, and if it's not word for word kind of a thing, people are going to be mad. I mean, I'm still mad over Ready Player One because it was not exactly like the freaking book. Because the book's amazing. If you go in watching Ready Player One without reading the book, it's a fine adventure film and everything like that. But if you read the book and you're like, oh my goodness, this movie sucks.
Or like the Hunger Games. I remember that was kind of a stick.
Yeah, that too. Hunger Games. Shoot, go even farther than that. The freaking movie that I threw at your TV.
Dragon Ball
Dragon
Z.
Ball. Yeah. Freaking got to Master Roshi's house and found out that it's just a lake with a little house in the middle. I threw the freaking game. I ejected it and then threw it at the TV. It was a tube TV, but all in the same. It could
uh,
handle it, but I mean, it's nostalgia. You it's gonna hit it. They're trying to make it be like, oh, parents will enjoy it that are these millennials and remember this movie, but then new generation's gonna learn from it and everything like that. It's their LeBron James sings it when we had a perfectly Michael Jordan.
well, he's doing Space Jam too. So.
Apparently not because LeBron James cannot find anybody to co-star with him.
Well, let's be honest. It's not a co-star.
Yeah, or be in the movie.
Yeah, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what like the second trailer looks like, how they
Yeah.
cut it, and um,
Yeah, we'll see.
how much are they including in the music in terms of
I wonder if they're going to change it because they're like, we don't want to play Elton John again. We don't want to pay
well,
him
yeah.
money anymore.
Well, that's the thing. I'm wondering if like if all the original like composers and Elton John and those guys are coming back. I'm
Yeah.
assuming they would because
They have to keep the original. They have to keep the Circle of Life.
well, no, they do. That's in the trailer.
Yeah,
I'm
they got to
talking more
keep
about
that.
I'm
But
talking more
besides
about like
that, but yeah, besides that, like, Scar's plan and all that stuff, probably not.
well, no, I'm talking more about no, they actually do. It looks like they're keeping that in there
Okay.
because in the trailer he does tell Simba, he's like, "Run, Simba, run." Um,
But like the song that they play with like him and all the hyenas, I don't think it's going to be a highly musical-esque movie.
well, no, because the guy that is voicing Scar, he did a movie back in '06
Mhm.
where he played like a cabaret cross dresser,
Yeah.
and so he can. So in the movie he sings.
Yeah, but I
I've heard
mean,
him sing.
with it being live action, like look at the past ones. Look at Cinderella. Cinderella didn't have any singing.
Mm, I
There
didn't see
it's
it.
live action. Dumbo didn't have singing. They didn't have the crows up on the lines. Well, because that
No,
was racist, but
no, but they did have the weird elephant scene
yeah.
where Dumbo takes all the alcohol in and has the trippy elephant scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll wait and see what the second trailer looks like, and
exactly.
maybe go see it. It's in the summer, so.
And then speaking of nostalgia, one of specifically my nostalgia. Like you wouldn't if you came up to me, you wouldn't see me as this type of person. But the thing I grew up with and liked was like kind of like creepy-ish things, not like oh my goodness, creepy. More of like like Nightmare Before Christmas, the Munsters, stuff like that. Like I wasn't like oh my goodness, I have figurines of all of them. Which I mean, coming from somebody that loves like Nightmare Before Christmas, my issue is that if you're like there's people that are fans of Nightmare Before Christmas and then other fans that are just I would say even posing. They're like, I have the T-shirt and I have a Jack Skellington, this, that, and the other, and it's like, how many times have you seen the movie? If you're the one or two times, it's like, how can that be your favorite movie? But I digress. The thing that I'm talking about is there is a new Addams Family movie coming out. It's animated, and Addams Family is probably up there as one of my favorite shows of all time because I just like just the oddballness of it. Like they're this family that lives in your typical, suburban living quarters where everybody's normal, everybody's nice, and everything like that. Even though the Adams families are nice, they're just kooky.
Hmm.
And I don't know about this trailer because the way that it seems like it's a prequel to everything Adams Family. It's like when they first get their house and they get settled in and everything like that. And they're kind of making jokes of like the recent times. Like the big joke that they have on there is Wednesday comes in with holding a red balloon, and Morticia comes up to her and is like, "What are you holding?" And one day Wednesday's like, kids gave it to me. Apparently it's supposed to be fun." And then Morticia's like, "Well, usually there's a crazy clown usually attached to these," referencing it.
Mm.
So I mean,
That's
they're
a
trying
really
to
good
make
point.
it relevant, but I don't know because I it might lose somewhat of its edge because I mean even the two movies that came out in the 90s, well late 80s or late 80s
Yeah, it was
90s,
early 90s.
yeah, early
It was
night,
like
yeah,
91, 92, and then
yeah, yeah,
94.
they kept very much of that feel of just the kookiness and everything like that. But with this trailer, I don't know. I don't feel the kookiness of it. I think it's just a really weird family.
For that time period, it was that early 90s, the Burton kind of, uh, there's the way that everything was,
The Tim
the set
Burton
piece,
esque.
the Tim Burton-esque, but the style, the art, the architecture style is called Art Deco.
Yeah, Art Deco. Yeah.
The 1920s style of doing art,
Yeah.
and that specific period for like 8 or 10 years, that was
Well,
a very popular style.
well, I mean, they do have that feel or they have that art style kind of a thing. It's just certain things just look weird. Like I
Uh, I was looking at the art rendering just now too. I mean,
mhm.
they like Gomez looks
Gomez looks
weird.
weird.
Um,
He doesn't like it seems like his suit is just way too big and his face is too round.
and then Uncle Fester looks.
Uncle Fester, if you put if they didn't have Lurch in there, you would think Uncle Fester's Lurch
Yeah,
because he's just like this big bulbous thing.
I mean, at least Wednesday and um,
Pugsley.
no, I was gonna say Wednesday and Morticia. They actually look
pretty
close
much,
in rendering.
yeah. You don't really see Pugsley in the
Trailer.
trailer, except for like a little bit. I mean, there is a zaniness thing to it, but I think they might be just taking it a little bit too far because, like, there's a scene in the trailer where, like, spiders come from Morticia's dress, and then they make a uh a bridge for them to cross, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Morticia's not have superpowers. She was just a kooky lady.
Yeah. Hmm.
But I mean,
Um,
I don't know. I need to see another trailer kind of thing. I'll probably end up watching it just to see how good or bad it is. But from my standpoint right now, it looks. I'm leaning more towards the bad side,
mhm.
and
Yeah.
this is from a guy that has loved the Addams Family.
Yeah. I mean,
So that
you can't beat Christopher Lloyd as Uncle Fester.
what's up?
You can't beat Christopher Lloyd as Uncle
No,
Fester.
not at all. Not at all. Now I would like to see if it was a revamped version or even an updated version of Addams Family, but live action. Christina Ricci would be Morticia, guaranteed,
Yeah.
guaranteed. I don't know who would play all the rest of them, but guaranteed Christina Ricci would be perfect
Christopher
as
Lloyd's still alive. He can still come back and do Uncle Fester.
he's aged. He's aged quite a bit. I don't know who we would put as Uncle Fester. Maybe I would say off the top of my head, Zach Galifianakis
Yeah,
as Uncle Fester.
but he'd have to be very animated, not that awkward
Yeah,
that awkward
he would
comedy
have
that
to
he
be
does.
more live action kind of a thing.
Yeah.
More that, and then I'm trying to think.
Uh,
I would say Gomez now would be oh, what's his face? Um 3 words, 3 word name.
Robert Downey
Uh
Jr.
what? No, not Robert
Robert Downey.
Downey. Um, 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 Robin from the third Batman movie.
Oh, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I would say that he would give the prowess of Gomez
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
think he could have fun with that character.
yeah. He would be good.
He would just have to be taller. Well, actually, no. Morticia has always been taller. Well, about same height.
Same height,
Yeah,
and she's still like 5'2" or something like that.
something like that.
Yeah, that'd be kind. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad live action one. The cast I saw is Charlize Theron's Morticia,
Yeah,
and then what's his face Poe from Star Wars. He's Gomez.
yeah.
So
Which I don't know. I don't know. They're just like we just need somebody that has some kind of Latin flavor.
isn't his name Oscar Isaacs?
Italian, I don't care. But anywho, that was a long discussion about movies, but I think
Yeah.
a lot of this next stuff should be going by pretty quick. So, in the subject of games, we have new month. New month means new free games, which I'm not too hyped about the PlayStation lineup because the 2 games that you get with PlayStation Plus this month is The Surge and Conan Exiles, which the Conan Exiles, it has a cult following behind it, but it didn't get that great of a score. And The Surge got a great score, but I'm not 100. It's inspired by the Dark Souls series, and it's set in the future. So I don't know. we'll see if it's any good. I'll be playing the Surge. I'll have to edit some of the Conan Exiles for the YouTube channel because there's nudity in it,
No.
and YouTube does not like the boobies. So there's that. Nintendo Switch actually has a pretty good lineup. We have Punch Out, not Mike Tyson's Punch Out, because they will never
No.
release Mike Tyson's Punch Out anymore because of the whole attempted murder stuff. They dropped that pretty quick after Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Then we have Star Soldier, which I've
Okay.
never played that one. I'm not 100% sure what that's about. But the probably the biggest one is it's the Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels. So the Lost
Uh,
Level the Lost Levels, from just knowing about them, they originally, for the United States release, it came out for the Super Nintendo with the Mario Brothers collection, which had 1, 2, and 3, and then the Lost Levels.
yeah, it was Mario All Stars, I think
Yeah,
it
Mario
was.
All Stars. That collection. But in Japan, the Lost Levels is actually Super Mario Brothers 2. The Super Mario Brothers 2 that we got was basically this weird Japanese game that they just put Mario and Luigi and everybody else over, like the character sprites. And
Hmm.
then it's through a couple other characters. That's why you have a lot of the different. It had a whole different feel, like Super Mario Brothers 2, than like 1 and 3.
Super Mario 2, is that the one where you're climbing up a vine or something?
There's a lot of them. Super Mario Brothers 2 had where you could select the 4 different characters. You could choose between Mario, Luigi, Peach, or Toad.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and then you like one of the you could pick up like turnips or something
yeah,
like that.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah, I remember playing that on Super Mario All Stars, thinking like that was weird.
It was because it wasn't an original Mario Brothers game. It was, I don't know what the name was called, but something Japanese, but they just took that game and just put Mario and Luigi and Peach
Yeah,
and Toad in it.
and Peach could like float too. That was the thing.
Yeah, she could float. Like each of them had special abilities. Peach could float. Luigi could jump high, but his run speed you had to like stop earlier because he would skid. Mario was just basic, and then I think Toad had I forget some other ability, but those are the Nintendo Switch games. So I'll probably be checking out Punch Out and then Super Mario Brothers Lost Levels. I know last month I didn't do the Nintendo ones. It was just they were kind of boring, so I didn't want to have people endure that, like the witness from last month's PlayStation review, because that was hard to play. That one's just, again, a game that you just play by yourself and just enjoy the scenery and all that stuff and enjoy some puzzles. But for Twitch, the Twitch Prime free games, I haven't heard of any of these. There's Her Story, which is a rich detective game from creator of Silent Hill Shattered Memories and Isle. It's a
Mm-hmm.
true crime documentary where you search through and watch video clips from 7 video interviews with a woman being asked about her missing husband. So that's about that game. There's Inner Space, is a incredibly relaxing adventure where you can soar through the skies or dive into deep waters exploring the world around you. So another like
Exploring game.
exploring game, just seeing how beautiful the game can be and just chill, relax. There's not really no intensity kind of a thing. Then we have Joggernauts. It's an auto runner puzzle platform game with a strong focus on co op gameplay. So there's that. And then there's Keep in Mind Remastered. I can't remember Keep in Mind at all, but it's a critically acclaimed indie psychological horror adventure that deals with dark emotional issues like mental illness, alcoholism, depression, and more. Yay!
It's like if we don't have enough Silent Hill-esque games.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But those are the 4 games for that.
I'll
So
have to check those out because I just created a Twitch account, so I'll be able
mm,
to.
yeah, we might. Well, maybe we can hop on some Joggernauts sometime
Yeah.
and get that recorded up. So
Yep.
there's that. And speaking of games, I just got and speaking of remastered, I got the Phoenix Wright HD Collection. Josh, do you know about Phoenix Wright?
The name sounds familiar.
Objection! You do not. So Phoenix Wright made its life on the 3DS. It's a Capcom game, and it's not a typical Capcom game you would think about, because Capcom games, what do they make? They make action adventure games, horror games, and
Fighting games.
fighting games. This one is a story based game. So what it is that you play as Phoenix Wright. He is a rookie lawyer, and you get thrown into these cases where you're the defense for most of the cases are about people killing other people. So, but the way the game works is that you have to. It's basically you're playing through a story, and a lot of text based. So there's a lot of reading, but it's like a puzzle esque story game, because what you're trying to do is defend um your clients by evidence and trying to weed out the truth, kind of a thing. So there's two different stages of this game per trial. It's the actual trial. The you have the trial, but then you have evidence gathering. So you go to different places, try to find evidence that can help you with your case.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's extreme. I find it extremely fun just because it does make you think, but the stories are pretty interesting because crazy stuff happens.
Hmm.
Like, I'll be playing through some of them, and we'll be doing voice acting as well through the reading dialogues and stuff like that. Or
Yeah.
yeah, so
Hmm.
stretch out my one of my abilities, even though my podcasting voice doesn't do myself justice.
It's
If
better
I'm
than like.
reading something, I can act the heck out of stuff.
Well,
But
at
when I'm
least
trying to
it's.
come up from off the fly, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, that's like my best man speech at your wedding. I
True.
had to write out the entire thing, and for the most part, I changed things on the fly, but I pretty much was reading from the notes on an iPhone.
Yep.
So,
He did pull out an
yep.
iPhone. So, I'll be playing through Phoenix, right? I'll probably make it maybe a weekly thing, just something just to throw out there that people can enjoy. Because I mean, some of these sections can be a little bit long, but yeah, it should be fun. Definitely worth getting if you like those type of games, because I mean, Capcom had some good story based games for the DS. Like they had this one and crap, what was the other one? I just had it in my head. Um Shoot, I can't remember. But basically is it Ghost Trick? Yeah, Ghost Trick. And you basically play as a dead guy, and you're trying to or playing as a ghost because you're trying to solve your own murder, and at the
Uh,
same time trying to help other people not to get murdered.
so it's like the
That's
Sixth Sense.
pretty much, yeah. But very heavily story based, but very entertaining, very fun. You can still get it
Okay.
on the DS, and I know it's in the App Store as well, because that's how I have it. I have it on my iPad. Same with the Phoenix Wright Collection too. You can get that on your iPad as well.
Oh,
But
okay. I have to check that out and
yeah,
maybe do like a live or like a stream or something.
yeah, it's a fun one. So that is all the topics that we have for today, except for our usual three at the end. That is our It Came From the Internet, Stream and Chill, and Stream and Why. And I have this one. So I was looking through the Book of Face or Facebook or Boca de Face. And I came across this video. And it's not a movie, it's not anything that has to deal with Arnold or anything like that, but it's this genius that is trying to explain why the earth is flat. Now, granted, this is probably a dated video because they were talking about the Houston flooding, which was not like what, 2 years ago?
2 years ago, 2017. Yeah.
Yeah, so because you were a part of that.
Yep.
That was fun.
Thankfully, no flooding.
Yeah. Well, in your area.
Yeah.
Others were affected.
Others were
But
affected.
yeah, I came across it and I'm like, what are we doing? What are we teaching the youth? I
Well, and
mean,
you wonder. I mean, go ahead and play a clip.
yeah,
Hop in.
we'll play the clips. So, play.
Hey YouTubers, let's get ready for a science lesson.
Yay, science!
This recent flooding in Houston has really gotten me thinking about how many people still think the Earth is round. I have a
Remember, kids,
demonstration
drugs
for you
kill
today.
brain cells.
Here I have a normal lemon, similar shape to the Earth.
Lemon is
Now,
not a
when
similar
I
shape to the earth.
pour water, like it's raining, the water just falls off of the lemon. Now, if the Earth was round, how would Houston be flooded if the water would just travel around the ball?
It's called gravity,
Doesn't make
genius,
sense. Now, I have here a
and
plate,
centrifugal force.
a flat plate. Now, if I pour the water onto the plate,
I mean, the one that you wonder too, like, is he just
as
like
you can see
totally
here,
joking about
the water
it?
pools up. Try me.
And
Like,
he
you just wonder, like, is he joking or is it?
I don't know, because he had that moment where he like was dropping the mic when he threw the water on the ground. All he needed was just like a mic drop.
Yeah, just drop the plate.
Yeah, just drop the plate. Psh, try me. Yeah, I'll try you.
Yeah,
Stop trying to look like a professor and actually learn this stuff.
well, you like, I'm sitting there thinking, like, is he just being? Because for some odd reason, like the whole flat Earth thing, all of a sudden became like a thing to discuss about. And
Yeah.
you're just sitting there going, like, well, okay.
The overall issue is that like parents and college professors, as they're teaching it and stuff like that, they're like, question everything. Everything is a conspiracy. Don't trust what the United States government is telling you because it doesn't matter. Everything is not real. Look at Kennedy.
Don't trust the government.
Look at the moon. The moon landing. I mean, it's just like common sense is no longer a staple in people's minds anymore.
Yeah.
The people are trying
that.
to be intellectuals, which they have no basis behind being intellectuals. It's like, come on, freaking just own up and stop trying to think smart, or not even think smart, or trying to attempt to think smart, and then you just look like a freaking fool the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
This whole culture of we have to question everything. We have to just question.
Well,
Why?
not only that, but just you can't be criticized for anything.
Exactly. You can't. It's like I have my beliefs and you can't do anything against me. And if you don't accept accept me as who I am, then you're just a bad man.
Yeah. So there you go.
Which that's just not in our human nature.
Yeah. But yeah,
Welcome to Being Human 101.
yeah. I
We
don't know.
hate other
It's just,
humans.
like, you just like you wonder too, like, is he just, again, like, is he just doing it because to kind of be a to do a joke? He had it was around that time too that what's his face from the Boston Celtics, Kyrie Irving, he made that joke too, like the
Yeah.
Earth is flat, and people were legitimately questioning whether or not he was intelligent. And I'm like these guys sometimes I wonder are just they know they can make a comment and then all of a sudden people jump on it. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna make this just to mess with people.
I don't know, because there's just some people that, because with YouTube and just, people having voices and stuff like that, we're just realizing how dumb people are,
Yeah.
because everybody has a voice. Everybody. People that shouldn't have voices have voices. People even say my voice should not have a voice, and sometimes I agree with them. But that's just the culture we are. And I mean, there are people that are out there that are this dumb. I mean, it just trying to find this guy on YouTube, because I saw this on Facebook and I wanted to have it for YouTube. There was so many people just talking about flat earth and, the science behind it and all this stuff, and true believers that people think that the earth is flat. It just boggles my mind. It's like, and you can't judge them. You can't criticize them because that's their beliefs. It's like
Yeah.
how it's idiocracy.
No, we're slowly moving to idiocracy. I have this conversation like probably once every week with my wife. We're totally moving closer to idiocracy.
Yeah.
Uh,
If people don't know what Idiocracy is a movie that was created by Mike Judge, the person that made Office Space, Beavis and Butthead, and King of the Hill.
yeah.
It's a good movie. You should go see it. It's about how the world will happen in 30 years when idiots run the world, because the only people that are procreating are idiots and all the smart people are not procreating.
Yeah.
So
Although
that is,
there are some people who I don't think should procreate, but that's my opinion.
yeah,
Anyway,
exactly.
let's move
But
on to stream and chill.
yeah, stream and chill. Stream and chill. Stream and chill. Lo, 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 lo. I got it. And the stream and chill pick of the week is a show called Letterkenny. Josh, have you heard of Letterkenny?
I have heard of Leonard Kenny, and I've heard it from you, and I've watched a couple episodes.
Well, besides
Actually,
me.
well, I heard about it from you from a while back, so
True.
I know
True.
of it. I've seen a couple episodes, couple trailers because they're still doing it.
Yeah, it's
Um,
it's a funny show. So
Yeah.
Letterkenny is on Hulu, and it's a Canadian-based show. Which, I mean, when you hear Canada, everybody's just like, "Oh no!" Even though most of our kids shows and everything like that was made in Canada, so deal with
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
A lot of other programming stuff is made in Canada, and it's quality, so deal with it. But Letterkenny is a show about the town called Letterkenny. It is a small hodunk town that has only 500 people in it, and um it has hockey players, hicks, and druggo weirdos.
Yeah, the idea is that like everybody has like their niche.
Exactly. And it's just fun. The thing that I like about Letterkenny so much is that just the how they portray their comedy is very quick-witted. Like, they are firing one-liners like this, and they're all hilarious.
Hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like Canada's version of Guy Ritchie dialogue.
Pretty
Just
much,
very-
pretty much. But I mean, and it's genius some of the stuff that they come up with. Like I use pitter patter all the time. In the show, pitter patter, let's get at her means get the hell up and let's go.
Hmm.
And just all this other stuff. And I mean, if basically focus around three guys and a girl and basically their experiences throughout the towns. Weird stuff. Like not weird like, aliens are coming and stuff like that. It's just weird occurrences where, like this like the first and second episode, basically the main character, which I can't remember his name right now, which is a constant problem that I have. Um, he basically gets dumped by his girlfriend or was cheated on by his girlfriend, but he was like this big, pretty much the toughest guy in town. But then after with the girlfriend softened him up and everything like that. But it's basically him getting back to becoming the toughest
Tough as
guy.
nails.
Yeah,
Tough
yeah.
guy.
And the way they do it is just go out and just fight other people that have considered like the toughest.
Well, and it's in the first episode, like people, guys are just egging him on constantly, constantly, constantly,
Exactly.
and finally he just snaps.
He just snaps and just goes completely ballistic. But I mean, just the quick wit and everything like that is phenomenal. I mean, and a lot of the phrases that they use, they get stuck in your head. And you'll end up using them because they're so perfect. Like one of my other favorite ones is your 10 ply, which means that you're super soft. As in you have, if you're talking about toilet paper, you have a 1 ply, you have 2 ply, and 2 ply soft, but then there's the extreme of your 10 ply. You mean you're like the softest thing on the entire earth.
I haven't gotten to that episode where they say that.
I think that's episode 3.
Okay.
Episode 3 is the super soft birthday party.
Okay.
Which that's hilarious. So go check out Letterkenny. It's on Hulu right now. The first, I think it's all 5 seasons, 4 or 5 seasons is out now.
Yeah, they have I remember last checking because I have it saved in the queue. They have, I think, everything up. I think they're doing season 6 now.
Yeah, they're doing season 6 on their Canadian channel.
Yeah.
But it won't come out till Hulu probably till Christmas 2020. So
Yeesh.
yeah, it is
Gotta
what
wait
it
that
is.
long.
So. But whenever we have a streaming show, we always have a streaming why. Why do we put ourselves through this? I don't know, because we're a glutton for punishment.
Because we enjoy watching bad. I don't know about you, but I enjoy watching bad movies because
they're bad and they're funny.
Yeah, because of the MST3K thing. But like even when I'm not watching what they do, to watch a bad movie and get to make fun of it is always a real treat.
Oh yeah, riffing on bad movies.
Like we did with Samurai Cop. That was
that was a good fun riffing time.
Yeah.
And it's fun to do it with actual good films. Like I ruined Free Willy for my wife because myself and one other guy riffed through the whole thing, and she's like, I can't watch this film anymore. I'm like, good. I didn't want to watch Free Willy to begin with. Stupid whale.
But so the streaming why is my topic. And have you ever heard of the guy named Neil Breen?
I've heard of him, but I've never seen anything by him.
So he's this independent filmmaker from Las Vegas. I was about to say LA, but he's from Las Vegas. And he makes these god awful movies. Supposedly he hires like professional actors. The nice
hires
thing is
them
about
or kidnaps them.
He hires them.
Is he being like Kim Jong-il?
I mean, I'll give it to him for credit that like he finances all his movies. He's like an architect, so he just wanted to make films.
Mm-hmm.
He finances all his movies. He apparently takes really good care of the actors. He provides all their food
Most kidnappers
on
do that.
set. And
It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
but the movies are
It puts lotion in the basket.
the movies themselves are just weird. Scenes don't make sense. The editing is horrible. The acting is horrible.
Mhm.
The plot lines make no sense. Like the movie that we're gonna watch, or from a clip that we're gonna show, is from a movie that he did called Fateful Findings.
Okay.
It doesn't. He's supposed to he gets into a car accident, and he ends up being able. He's like a writer, and he is hacking into. He's like a writer writing a novel, but he ends up stumbling on government conspiracies and all this corporate greed and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
it has this corporate greed thing going, but then also this environment type of thing going where we got to save the planet. And then all of a sudden
Is he Captain Planet?
Well, no, it's even weirder.
Does he have 5 kids that surround him with magic rings?
No, speaking of magic, in the movie too, there's a scene with magic beans that there's a book that this. There's just weird and random stuff that you sit there and go, I don't know what's going on.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
And this the first one that we're gonna watch is
it's the car.
The car scene. His friend, he doesn't commit suicide, but it's his wife shoots him. She tries to stage it as a suicide, and so Neil Breen, who always plays the main character in these films,
of course, if you're gonna fund it, you're gonna be the main actor.
And he always has these, I'd say for the most part, pretty women, be his love interest, which I'm because there's some of I think in this movie and in another movie, it's the girl that he ends up with, they were kids at one point and they got separated. But then when you look at the actress playing the adult version,
yeah,
it's you look 20 years younger than what Neil looks like. So either you aged very well or he aged very terribly if you're the same age. But in this scene,
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah. But in this particular scene, it's his friend. His friend gets shot. The wife tries to stage it as a suicide, and he comes in. And listen to the intensity of how he speaks, looking at his good friend who just committed suicide.
And just a reference to something I talked to earlier, the whole Kim Jong-il thing. So Kim Jong-il, which is Kim Jong-un's dad that died. Kim Jong-il back in the 50s and 60s used to kidnap prominent Chinese and Japanese and Taiwan actresses and actors to film in his own movies. AKA, there's a monster film called Pugasaria, which is a ripoff of Godzilla.
I did not know that.
The more you know. I wish they brought those back.
But anyway.
Anywho, let's get back to this awesome acting.
Jim, call 911. Jim.
This is my favorite part right here.
Done this.
Wait for it.
I can't believe you committed suicide.
I can't believe you committed
suicide. How could you have done this? How could you have committed suicide? I can't help you out of this one, Jim.
Of course you did.
All you've been through, I can't pull you out of this one.
I love the. Hold on.
Hey, YouTubers.
Hey, shut up. I love the Iron Man goatee that guy was trying to pull off.
Yeah.
But you're dead, Jim. You're dead.
And he's kind of wiping the blood on his face.
I find it funny that because he had blood all over his face. It's why? Wait, even somebody that's traumatized or anything like that wouldn't wipe somebody else's blood on their face.
Yeah. I can't believe you committed suicide. I can't believe you committed suicide.
I can't
How
help
could you
you
have
out.
done this?
How could you done this? I can't help you out of this one, Jim. Out.
There's
I
also
mean,
another.
I could commit suicide and then try to Robin Williams you to heaven, but that's about it.
Yeah. And then like the next scene, like there's random scenes where like stuff happens where he has a flashback. And in this scene in particular, it's like he has this flashback of him getting hit by a car. And I think in the same movie too. But
And,
then just like watch his reaction with the coffee.
all right. I love how he has 4 laptops.
Yeah, old laptops.
Oh. Who does that?
And in all his movies, he has at least like 4 laptops like that. By the way,
He should have been dead because he's crouching. I love the tongue that he had out. Oh, tell me he licks up the coffee. Tell me he licks up the coffee. Please. Or wipes the coffee all over his... What is with him wiping stuff all over his face? Is he having a... Is he having a fun time dream?
I mean, those are scenes like that. The movie makes no sense. There's just random scenes like that. And there's another scene
God.
where like he has this conversation with this girl that like wants to seduce him.
Oh, yes.
And at one point he's talking to her and she does this. Like looks directly right at the camera, like, get me out of this movie. But the reason why I picked it for the stream stuff is
why?
and I mean, if you want to truly rip off of a bad movie, that is I mean, if you want to put yourself through the torture and just be like, I don't know what I watched, but
I mean, that's why this is here. This is streaming. Why? Like, why would you want to? Why would any normal person watch it? Because it's stupidly funny. You watch terrible acting.
Again, I will give him credit for at least trying, but that's where the line kind of gets drawn.
But trying is half the battle.
Yeah.
Come on, Josh.
But again, like the funny thing is
you watch you can try.
You watch
his movies. Try hard.
I led to my grades.
Grades.
What are grades?
Oh no. Oh.
I mean, you have to admit, at least the car, him getting hit by the car was probably at least like the best seat for the budget that he usually works with. Probably the best that he put together.
Well, of course, he got a Rolls Royce. He rented out a Rolls Royce for that. And then in the other scene, that's right behind what is that, Lamborghini? A Ferrari, yeah, Ferrari. So I mean, where he wipes blood all over his face.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're just weird. A lot of it doesn't make any sense. Like if you want to learn how not to make a movie, watch those. But I will at least like again give him some credit for. Yeah. But I'll give him some credit for at least like wanting to make the movies that he wants to make.
Yeah, so did what's his face with with The Room.
Oh, Tommy Wiseau.
Yeah. Now I think Tommy Wiseau is better than this guy. If you had a crap meter, like this guy's up here, And Tommy Wiseau is actually Tommy Wiseau looks like a pristine actor compared to this guy.
Yeah. Unless you watch Samurai Cop 2, then it just kind of goes down the drain.
What are you talking about? That was his best part. He was way better than that than in The Room.
Really? I thought his best performance was the Joker audition that he did.
Oh, that was a good one too. Are you serious?
We'll do that next week. We'll play his Joker audition tape for people to see.
I'm the Joker.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to, I don't know if they're on Amazon Prime.
I don't know. You could probably find them on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah,
And
that's how I did for mine.
And
But-
speaking of YouTube, we are running out of time. And we are out of time for this episode of So Do You Like Stuff. So if you are watching us on YouTube, please like us. Please subscribe. We
Hit
would
the notification bell.
hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when new episodes are up. Not just from the podcast, but from our other videos as well, which are highly entertaining. I think so because I'm in them.
Yeah, bro. You're totally in them.
Yeah, I know. I'm throwing myself out there. I'm letting other people try to love me because I can't love myself.
But you can't love yourself until you love.
Is that like Eat, Pray, Love?
I don't know.
My Eat, Pray, Love around the world. Alrighty. Well, for So Do You Like Stuff, I'm Jeff Miller.
And I'm Josh Martinez.
Y'all have a good one.
Later.
And stay out of trouble. Drugs are bad. Don't end up like Science Guy.